This video is on an extremely important topic for those of us who live in California, and that is Prop 13. Lots of people have heard about it, but not everybody knows how it works and how important it is in your estate plan. So if you live in a state other than California, this is a very California-specific topic. So everybody knows that there are certain hotspots in California. It is so expensive to live, and the housing prices are just completely out of control. And so in the 70s, it was very similar, and the voters in the state of California passed Prop 13, which said, once you buy a house, once you're in the house, your property taxes are based on that original purchase price of the house. It doesn't go up with the market value. So if you bought your house in like 1978 for $72,000, you got that assessed value. That's the value by which the county calculates the property taxes. And if the house is now worth $1.5 million, you are still paying property taxes on that initial amount, the $70,000 you bought your house. Now there's some cost of living adjustments that go up, or school bonds that get added on to the final bill, but your taxes, if you bought your house in like 1972, 1980, are so much lower than the neighbor who just moved in and paid 1.2. It's the difference between paying $2,000 a year for property taxes and $15,000, $18,000, $20,000 a year in property taxes. It makes a really big deal to people. So then the voters, after Prop 13, passed Prop 58, and that took it one step further. Not only does the owner of the house get to keep their property taxes the same, but if a child of that owner, or even a grandchild, if the intervening child has died, once they get the house, they also keep the same original assessed value by which they pay property taxes. So you could have someone who inherited a house that was built in 1950, and it's, 2017, and they still have an artificially low property tax base. So how does this apply to your estate planning? Well, a lot of kids really can't afford to live, especially in the Bay Area. They can't buy a house, and if they can inherit a house and keep the property taxes the same, it makes the difference between, like I said, $2,000 a month in property taxes versus $300 a month in property taxes. So the thing to keep in mind is, if you are planning to leave your house to your child and your child wants to inherit and live in that house, there are forms that have to be filled out with the assessor's office, with the tax collector of every county. And there are deadlines by which to file the forms so that the taxes don't go up. So it's important to keep those deadlines in mind. The other thing I see is, what if one child wants to keep the house and live there and have the low property taxes, but the other child lives somewhere else, and they want the cash. One child wants to take the house, another child wants to take the cash. It still is okay under many circumstances, and the child can still keep the same Prop 13 basis. But there's a lot of horse trading, juggling, work that has to be done to communicate and work with the county. And those things need to be done shortly after the person passed away, and the person who's leaving the house needs to have contemplated this eventuality and plan for it in their estate planning documents. So this is not a comprehensive video that tells you every nook and cranny of everything you need to know about keeping your property taxes the same. But suffice it to say, it's very important that you get legal counsel, that you think ahead about what your plans are, so that when the time comes, your child or children can have the tax savings that you enjoyed as a California resident. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this information helpful.